Take their load hostage. Don't deliver till they pay you. Tell the freight broker to pick up the freight from your yard. These are the kind of comments that I received from the audience in my last video about ruthless freight brokers, where I shared 3 stories that happened to me about unfair broker practices from a carrier's perspective. Since that video was such a success, I thought I would write down some stories over the week and share it with my audience. Just to make it clear, no, I do not hold freight brokers' loads hostage, but I'll leave that reasoning till the end of this video. Now, these actual scenarios get better and better with each freight broker. So, freight broker number 1. We arrive at the delivery in Atlanta, Georgia with an appointment for Monday morning. Driver arrives for his delivery appointment. The shipper tells him, hey, I'm really sorry, but this appointment was for 2 days ago. You're 2 days late. Said, that can't be. I just picked up this load on Friday to deliver it on Monday. He says, sorry, there's nothing I can do about it. You're gonna need to contact whoever gave you the load and you're gonna need to reschedule a delivery appointment. I said, okay, let's do that. We contact the freight broker. Freight broker says, I don't know what in the world is happening. Don't worry, I'm gonna make another delivery appointment. So he sets the delivery appointment for Wednesday. I told him, how much are you gonna pay me for this? He said, don't worry, you'll get paid for everything. Of course, just like they all do. We re-deliver the freight on Wednesday in the AM. They finally offload the entire product. We send the PODs to the broker and then we're asking him for our revised confirmation. Based on his terms and conditions, what I think is horrible, it says that they need to pay us $150 for a layover. Wednesday comes along, I send the email to the freight broker, can you send me the revised confirmation? Freight broker says, sorry, I need to get an approval from my customer. Okay, Thursday comes along, Friday comes along, again, we send the emails over and over again. Now you have to understand how annoying this is for a dispatcher to have, loads on his desk that he is waiting for revised confirmations. You can't even send it out to billing. Long story short, after 8 days of going back and forth via emails, finally the broker says, oh, I got an approval from my customer. But I think to myself, I don't care about your customer. I did my job. Your terms and conditions says that you're paying me $150 for a layover. You need to send that revised confirmation to me and deal with your customer on your own. What do I have to do with your customer? If you want, I could deal with your customer directly, but I don't think anybody wants us to take it there. But anyways, finally a week later, I got my $300. Now you have to understand, this is 8 days later and about 10 or 15 emails going back and forth. We get our $300 and 2 full days the driver was standing around doing nothing. Now again, the driver doesn't care. He's getting paid from us, right? We have to collect it from the freight broker. Whether we're successful at collecting it from the freight broker or not, we have to pay our driver for the layovers. Let's get into story number 2. I promise you it gets better. We deliver a load into Morris, Illinois at 3 p.m. I don't remember what day it is. Now, the next day, the dispatcher got a load for a driver. It was a well-paying load going to Georgia, but the pickup was at 11 a.m. the next morning. So from 3 p.m. the driver gets empty. Usually the next day in the morning we would get a pickup, but the pickup appointment is for 11 a.m. the next morning and it's 95 miles north in Waukegan, Illinois. So the load was going from Waukegan, Illinois to Savannah, Georgia. Great paying load. It was paying about $3.25 per mile. Driver arrives at the pickup at 11 a.m. Shipper says, sorry, somebody picked up this load yesterday. Great. So we contact the freight broker. Freight broker says, let me try to sort it out. Tell your driver to stay. Don't worry, he's gonna get loaded. Anyways, the driver was on site until 1:30. Finally, we receive an email from the broker with a truck order not used, $150. And I'm thinking to myself, man, I pick up the phone. I said, listen, I drove 95 miles to pick up this load. I waited until 11 a.m. He says, sorry, sir, it's in our terms and conditions. It lays it out there very nicely about the truck order not used. I'm like, okay, great, awesome. Story number 3, okay, and this is probably the best one of all of them. We were hired to pick up a load from Indiana going to Arizona. We agreed on a rate with the freight broker, seemed very nice over the phone. Everything was fine, his reviews were okay. A few bad ones, but overall it was okay. The loader arrived to Arizona, he gets to the receiver goes to the driver, hey, listen, these 24 skids are mine, but those 2 skids, that's not my product. I never ordered this product. Okay, great. So now I have 2 skids inside the trailer. Each skid has about 50 boxes on it. Each box is about 75 pounds. Now we contact the freight broker and we tell him the story. Hey, listen, we're really sorry, but the receiver left 2 skids inside our trailer. What do you want us to do? He says, hold on, don't do anything, stay there. I'm gonna contact the customer. Anyways, after 3 hours, broker calls us back and says, hey, you know what? I got the approval. You're more than welcome to dispose of the product. I asked the freight broker, where do you want me to dispose the product? He said, I don't know, that's your problem already. So what do you mean it's my problem? You hired me to do a job. You want me to dispose of the freight. Who the hell is gonna dispose of it? You want my driver now to go pick up these boxes one by one and start throwing them out? I mean, give me an address, I'll deliver it. There's usually a disposal fee and you need to take that upon yourself. Sorry, sir, it says that in our terms and conditions. We don't pay for disposal fee. You're on your own, my friend, goodbye. Great. you know what? It's getting better and better with these freight brokers. Now, if I did want to be an ass, I could have contacted the shipper, sent them the bill, completely destroying the freight broker. And it's really easy to do, to destroy the relationship between the freight broker and the shipper. It's not that hard. If I'm unable to collect my freight bills, I go after the shippers and the receivers no matter what. I mean, even if a broker goes, out of business or doesn't pay within, a certain amount of days, or you can see that, the freight broker has closed down their doors, I would go after the shipper and receiver. Yes, I get a lot of comments about holding load hostages, take their load, don't deliver until they pay you, but I'm just not that kind of guy. I did not build this company from scratch doing unethical practices. 100% of my customers here in Canada, the outbound loads, all of my freight going from Canada into the US, I work with 100% manufacturing plants and 0% with freight brokers. And I'm going to be doing the same thing over the years in Atlanta. Now, karma is a it bites you hard. And those crooked freight brokers, they're going to get what they deserve eventually. A message to all you carriers: just because you stumble upon a shitty freight broker, it doesn't mean that they're all like that. I've actually stumbled upon some really good freight brokers where we establish relationships and they're giving us ongoing business. But yes, there are some bad apples. Make internal notes for yourselves in your systems, in your CRMs, about who to work with and who not to work with. Don't work with the bad ones. Now, it's been 18 months since I've opened up my terminal in Atlanta, Georgia. And for those of you that want to see the series on how I did that, I've documented every step of the way that you guys can watch. But I can honestly say that after 18 months, it's not all that bad. I'm Ronan, and I'll catch you in my next video.